What's up, everybody? C's Rules on Twitter, spelled with a Z. Prince Cesar with a Z, 27 on YouTube. I want to do a little video. I usually, talk about politics and things of that nature, but I want to talk about something that's, going on. It's about religion, basically. I've been seeing this back and forth between different groups, uh, basically arguing if the members of ISIS are Muslims. Yes, the members of ISIS are Muslims. Now, I know that upsets some people, and people are, they get offended. Like, how can you compare these monsters to Muslims? And Islam is Islam is a religion of peace. Let me just say right off from the bat, I think all religions are bullshit. I think they're used to control people, they're used to exploit them, and to keep them ignorant, and to take their resources. That's my personal. I don't care what religion it is: Christianity, Islam, Zoroastrianism, whatever, Scientology, all of that shit. All of it is bullshit in my opinion. But it's particularly startling to me when you try to sit here and tell me I got eyes and I got ears. You're gonna tell me that ISIS, or ISIL, if you want to call it that, it stands for the Islamic State in the Levant. Now, what their original intent was, and I'm not really sure if they've changed their philosophy or whatever. Their original intent was to set back up the caliphate, or a caliphate. The caliphate is basically a governing, ruling body led by a caliph who is like I don't know, a king, I don't know, of all Muslims, if you want to call it that. Now, there's been several caliphates throughout history. Now, we could talk all day about the brutality of ISIS, but I mean, at the end of the day, they believe that they're Muslims. So who are we to say as people who don't follow their particular interpretation of Islam, that they're not Muslims? Like nobody's indicting Islam because ISIS believes in Islam or believes in the Quran. Like, nobody's saying all Muslims are bad, but it's insulting when you say that ISIS or ISIL are not Muslims. It's just as insulting. That would be like somebody seriously trying to tell me the KKK is not a Christian organization. As an African American in America, that's insulting to me, because I know for a fact that the KKK started as a Christian organization. Now, are most Christians racist? Probably not, right? Most one type of people aren't one particular thing racist, or whatever you want to call it. But that, like, no one should believe that the KKK don't believe that they're a Christian organization. Like, there's terrible things in both in the Quran and in the Bible that people use to justify terrible things. Like, everybody knows at this point that the slave masters back in the day, they used the Bible to justify slavery. They actually used the Old Testament to justify enslaving black people. And then who was the founder of the KKK? Nathan Bedford Forrest, a slave owner from the South who fought in the Civil War, who was considered one of the greatest cavalry soldiers, generals in history, in the United States history anyway. He started the KKK. Like, didn't we fight the Civil War because of slavery? One of their justifications for slavery was the Bible. So to say that the KKK is not a Christian organization, that's just insulting. Just like to say that ISIS is not a Muslim organization, that's insulting to me. What? Just because y'all follow different strands or y'all have different interpretations of the same book, nobody's proven to have the right interpretation of these books. Nah, I mean, I understand why people are doing it. Like Muslims, like moderate Muslims who don't want to kill the whole world or take over or do whatever it is that ISIS has in mind. Understand you don't want to be lumped in with them, but it is what it is. That's like me saying I'm not an American because some American dude went around and shot up a whole bunch of people. So tomorrow, or me saying he's not an American. Like it just doesn't make any sense to me. Like I don't like that's not like no, we not gonna play this game and oh they're not real Muslim. What's a real Muslim? Especially for I'm asking that to people, especially who aren't Muslim. You just looking from the outside in, just like me. What's a real Muslim? Do you know? How many different interpretations of the Quran is there? Like, is it okay to marry underage girls? Is it not okay to marry underage girls? I can say something just as horrible about the Bible. Is it okay to sleep with your? Is it okay to marry your brother's wife if you die, or is it, or if your brother dies, or is it not okay? That's in the Bible. See, see that's one of the problems with religion. People want to pick and choose what parts of the Bible or the Quran or whatever holy book they want to pick and choose what parts. Nah, all of that is in there. So if you believe in one part, then you should believe in all of it. And if you don't, who are you to tell the other person because they believe in a different part of the book more than they believe in the part of the book that you find important that they're not just as Muslim as you are. That's why us atheists look at all of y'all like y'all crazy. I'm sorry. I just had to have a little rant on that whole is ISIS Muslim bullshit. Like that shit bothers me. Like yeah, they're Muslim. Like so what? Yes, they're Muslim. Does that mean all Muslims are bad and want to kill people? No, it does not mean that, and no one's saying that. But let's call it what it is. ISIS didn't come from nowhere. All right, that's my rant on goddamn ISIS and if they're Muslims or not. Follow me on Twitter, C's underscore RULEZ. Comment, subscribe.